Good evening, Synergy Success Network, and welcome welcome for coming along even to our Facebook Live event that's happening every Wednesday at 7:30 in the evening. And like I did say in the post yesterday, and I'll give some information before, we are going to be doing different topics each week, and we'll be inviting in different guests. And tonight, we have our first guest that's come along to the Synergy Success Network HQ. Mark Legg has just joined the meeting and left the room. And yeah, so we're going to have our first guest, and tonight's guest is
Darron Barnes.
Darron Barnes. So Darron Barnes in a moment is going to tell you a little bit about what it is that he does and the reason why he's with us tonight. It's going to be a little bit of an interview. There is the opportunity for you to do comments there so that you can actually ask some questions of Darron as well if you'd like to. But like I say, this will be going on for about half an hour, depending on if I can shut up for a minute, because you know what I'm like. Hello there. How are you doing, Charlotte? You okay? I like you there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get on with the interview. Just to also give you a little bit of background before we start. Darron also came along to our Business Discovery Day and found that he got quite a lot from the Business Discovery Day and then signed up to our 90-day Kickstart program. So he's one of our first to go through this program. So we'll ask him some questions about that afterwards at the end. So, Darron, welcome. Lovely to see you this evening.
It's good to be here.
Yeah. So how long have you been in business for then, Darron?
With this business, it started back in 2014.
Yeah.
It started. I developed psoriasis, and I had it all over my face and everything. So it was pretty problematic for me to shave.
Okay.
So yeah.
You might want to speak out a little bit for the viewers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get a bit closer as well.
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it all started from that really.
So what is it you do? Tell us what it is you do. What is your business? Tell us about your business.
I manufacture shaving soap. It's all handmade at home. I also manufacture shaving balms and also pre-shave shaving soap. Primarily, the business is set up around shaving in general.
Okay. So that's these shaving soaps. I'd just like to show a little
terrible
bit.
plug.
These are the shaving soaps here. Wickham Soaps. This is the 1912 Magnum version. Smells absolutely beautiful.
People won't remember Magnum from the 80s.
Oh, they won't remember Magnum from the... We remember Magnum from the 80s, don't we? I was going to grow a Magnum Tash. He's got a great Magnum Tash on the
I was going to do a Burt Reynolds, but he's just gone. People know him for the wrong reasons.
So did this kind of start off as a bit of a lifestyle business then? What would you say? What was that? Because I know you say that you've done it because of the psoriasis.
Believe it or not, no, actually, I was a stay-at-home dad.
Oh, okay.
I'd worked as a contractor out in the Netherlands, and then my partner at the time, she gave birth to my first son.
Yeah.
And I decided to wrap up and come home. And we just agreed that it would be best if I stayed at home and looked after the kids and so on. So we had a bit of a role reversal, if you will.
Okay.
But me being me, it was boring, you know. It's just like doing the same thing, mundane thing, day in and day out. So I thought to myself, you know, there's more to life. What can I do? So I actually started off I went back to South Downs College, local college here, to do a GCSE chemistry.
Oh, okay, chemistry, interesting.
With the view to, because I've also got a camera business as well. So I've got two businesses.
We'll talk about that one in a minute.
Yeah, sure. So basically, it was to fill in a gap in a niche market with photographic developers with old school film photography, and I partnered with a company up in London. However, they didn't really have a good sales drive. So they weren't selling a lot of products, and I just personally felt that, you know, there was no point making small quantities and sitting on it and, you know, nothing happening sort of thing. There was me, I was twiddling my thumbs. So I got on with this project, and this project just excelled.
Just excelled. You know, it just excelled.
Well, the product itself, it speaks volumes for itself, you know, it sells itself. So.
Yeah. And you know, and I've been, you know, so I have kind of known Darron for a little while, and I used to do some coaching with Darron back in the day as well, with unlocking, and I've been a user of Magnum. Well, not Magnum. I've used almost all of
converted.
You converted me to a Magnum, yeah. But I've used quite a lot of these products, and they are great products. Christmas is coming, yeah. These are good products, and the website is at the top of the line. So if you want to run and buy some of them, yeah. Look, Billy's this. Hello, Billy.
Billy, how's it going? Lewis, hello.
Look,
Jack.
see, yeah, they're all here. Look, they've all come to say hello. They've all come to say hello. So yeah, I think it is a great product. So tell me, whereabouts do you sell this product at the moment? So who are your customers?
Well, okay. Well, before I start, let me just say, before I started the program, I was supplying to 10 Wickham stockists that I partnered with.
Yep.
And they were positioned globally around the world.
Around the world. So you're a global, you're an international soap seller.
Certainly am. Yeah. I've got a stockist in Canada. I won't reel them off.
No, reel them off. Tell them.
I've got one in Canada, 2 in the US.
Yeah.
One in Poland, one in Estonia, one in Denmark. I've just taken on a new one in the Netherlands, one in Germany, and 6 in the UK. And one in Ireland, and there's a couple of other places.
That's amazing. So this soap is travelling across the Atlantic.
But you know what? I had a really strange thought the other day. I was shaving, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder how many people is actually using Wickham Soaps at the moment.
Yeah.
Now, I've sold in excess of 5,000 units. You know, I've got 13 different fragrances, and you know. That's just one fragrance, those units. So, I mean, there must be at least 1,000 people each morning shaving with Wickham
Soaps.
It must be, if not more.
Do you know when they used to say the sun never set on the English Empire? Well, I'm going to say the sun never sets on Wickham Soaps. Because every minute of every day, somebody is shaving with this bit of gear.
I need to sign him up. You're going to be my sales executive from now on, I think.
Oh, it's brilliant. And then I know as well, I kind of noticed as well, you kind of created an add-on as well, you know, so you got the soothing balm.
But these are all, actually, these are all old labels now, because like I was saying about, since I've done the program, I've managed to streamline a lot of I've managed to channel and streamline a lot of the systems that really didn't have in place, which I've now put in place. And what it's done is it's freed up a lot of my time, so I can focus on rebranding, more marketing, more and generating basically more sales. That's what I've concentrated on. So this is all out of date labeling.
So you gave me out of date stock.
I've got to give it to someone.
That's what I love about you, Dan. I love it. So I'm just kind of going to go back a little bit, because what I think is amazing, so you came back to the UK after, and I remember you said you was a painter and decorator, and you was in the Netherlands. I'm aware as well you did have your own painting and decorating business back when you was younger. So you've always been a bit of an entrepreneur.
I was a foreman out in the Netherlands. So we had a team of about 50 guys working for us. And they were British. All of them were British. Yeah. But my main role was to liaise with the Dutch. I mean, a lot of the Dutch do speak English, but they see it as the English thief in their work. So they kind of try and put a language barrier in between. So I speak Dutch, so I would go in and sort of liaise speaking Dutch. So when they were like, "Oh yeah, we can't do this in Dutch," I'd be like, "Well, you can, because I speak Dutch." There's no excuse, you know. So
do you know what I'm hearing here, Dad? And what I'm hearing here, which is really kind of amazing, right? It's just your level of intelligence and enthusiasm to want to do something.
I wouldn't say it's intelligence. I'd say, like, you know, I think you adapt to your environment. You know?
I don't think it's an easy thing to be able to sort of like speak a language. It took me like a week just to be able to ask for the bill in Spain last week, you know, and even then I was getting it wrong.
That's a good thing. I mean, who wants to pay any bills in Spain anyway?
But what I was kind of meaning was that sort of like, you know, so you you came back to the UK. You kind of decided that you wanted to kind of go off to college. You then went off to college, and then you got yourself qualified within chemistry.
Yeah.
You know, and then what you've also been able to do is then be able to transfer that skill into making this soap. But before we go any further, where do you actually make this soap?
Yeah, I make it at home. It was made in Wickham up until the beginning of 2015. I've now moved, so the company's based in Fareham.
Fareham.
Yeah.
But you actually make it at home.
Is 10 miles down the road, or not even that. I think it's about 2 miles down the road from Wickham.
So you make this at home, and you know, and then what you're doing is you've got stockists internationally, and you've got people that are shaving to this because the sun never sets on Wickham Soaps. You know, and you know, and yes, so that takes some doing. That does. That takes.
By the way I look at it, I mean, like like in my earlier businesses when I was younger, I always saw, oh, there's going to be a problem there, there's going to be a problem there. And those were barriers.
Yeah.
Whereas now I don't see them like that. I see them as a challenge and also an adventure as well, a path that I haven't yet gone down. So, and I think I picked up a bit of this really from the 90-day program. You know, it's like, you know, think it, say it, do it.
Do it.
So you just got to, you know, you just have to take action, I think. And,
I
think anyone that's got that mindset, they can achieve quite a bit. You know?
And I'll say it quite a lot on a lot of the programs and the posts that I do as well. Is that, you know, is it's only ourselves, is our fear and our doubt and our disbelief that get in the way.
Yeah.
You know, and our minds will talk us out of it. You know, and that's why we don't achieve. We're not able to get to that next step. But it seems like you found a way to break through that barrier. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Do you know another thing I picked up off the 90-day program? Is being around the people like, I can see there's quite a few people like Billy, Jack, Lewis.
Yeah.
You know, there's quite Mark. I mean, there's loads of people there that are actually on this program. And do you know what? It's like I'd even go as far as saying it's like a family, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, and like so, I might not have the skills to do one thing or the knowledge, should I say? And then someone will say, "Oh, have you thought about doing this?" Like the other evening, I think it was Billy suggested something to I think it was Richard.
Yeah.
He suggested that
Somalia.
He suggested something along the lines of I won't go into too great details because obviously there's a confidentiality thing.
Yeah.
So,
of course.
but, I mean, like he helped to resolve an issue that Richard was having, and it also helped me as well because I'm thinking I haven't yet got to that stage, you know. But if I do, then it's going to help me resolve that issue. Because I know how to do it.
And I think that's that part of when we kind of call it the synergy success network. You know, that's exactly what it is.
That word, isn't it? Synergy.
It's a synergy. You know, by networking, supporting, delivering success. You know, and that's how we kind of move through. So we're kind of like so. If we kind of think about sort of like where you was when you first before you came to the BDD day. You know, so you come to the business discovery day. It would have been a whole new arena for you, you know, with lots of different businesses. What did you think you was going to get from that day? What was your thought?
Well, do you know what? I didn't. All I knew at the time, is that I had a few problems within the business, like it's being able to scale up.
Yeah.
I was hoping that it was going to resolve that. In fact, it's done far much more than that.
Far much more. So you came to the business discovery day, and you found that useful in itself, just for the business discovery day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so at the end of the business discovery day, what kind of happened there? So what happened from the end of that?
Well, I was really impressed with like the talk that you gave. I was also impressed with the people that was also attending as well, and just the generalised sort of feedback that I was getting from people was what I was actually thinking.
Yeah.
So I think that was just more. That was more than enough, really, to get me to sign for the 90-day program.
90-day kickstart.
Yeah. But I'll kind of be honest, actually. I mean, I wouldn't say it's expensive, although on initial look at the price, you'd think that's quite expensive.
Yeah.
You know, I hope I'm going to get, and I've got so much more than that back already. Yeah. And I think I'll be halfway through the.
Not even halfway through. We just come to the end of the first 30 days. You know.
Yeah.
So we've got another 60 days. So would you say you've already had money best spent already?
I've already got that back plus more. I mean, I picked up 2 new stockers. I picked up one this morning.
Yeah.
as a result of like new systems that I've put in place.
Yeah.
I've also got 2 leads to follow as well, and I know that I can convert both of them.
Brilliant.
I feel pretty confident about that. So
that's fantastic. That's
yeah.
fantastic. So if we kind of look at sort of like, you know, so I kind of know that I've done some kind of mindset stuff with you in relation to sort of like what we just talked about a moment ago about sort of like changing your relationship with fear, you know, and then being actually seeing it more as a bit of a challenge, you know, and then also about sort of like how we can maintain kind of trusting relationships with people so that we can kind of grow, and we've done all that sort of stuff as well. But what are the practical elements that you have gotten from Synergy? What are the practical elements and processes that you may have learnt from Synergy that you didn't have before that have really helped you to move forward?
Well, I mean, like I said, there's been other people that are at different levels than what I am within my business. And I mean, Mark is so advanced and he's so knowledgeable. I've taken a lot of managerial sort of automation tools that he's shown me. I've taken them and implemented those within my business, and I'm on top of everything at the moment. You know, it just feels so fantastic. I mean, I'll get an inquiry coming. Like for instance, I sent out the wrong fragrance to a customer. Customer says to me, you know, sends me an email and says, you know, you sent out the wrong fragrance. I'm like, yeah, okay. In the past, I would have put that to one side, made a note, lost the note, then carried on with a stockist order of like say 500 soaps. And then a week later, the guy would have emailed me again and said, well, aren't you going to do anything about it? Whereas now I'm using a system where I get flagged and notifications on my emails, on my mobile, sorry.
Yeah.
And you can actually also set it up for notification via email as well. But so there's no excuse for me to miss anything now, you know, and I'm not. And it just feels fantastic to be able to go, boom, straight on it, done.
So when you got that ping today, had you forgotten about that stockist?
Not really. No.
I was going to say, yeah.
No. I mean, it's always in your mind, but it's just like it's prioritizing, I think.
Okay.
And I found that the tools are really good at being able to help you to prioritize certain tasks.
And when you got that ping, did you just then get on and do what you needed to do for that?
Yeah, it's just auto. Yeah.
So I suppose what we always say about was within the Synergy as well, it's sort of like, you know, so the systems in place take us from being the CEO, from the technician to the CEO, so you can work on your business more than within your business, and that kind of gives you more time. And I know your business is still going through a growing process at the moment. I do know that you've got kind of an employee that's working with you now, but do you feel the systems and processes have enabled you to have more time? Has they freed up more space for you as a person? Has it made your life less busy?
Absolutely. In fact, I'll tell you what it has done. It's made it more fun as well.
Oh.
Yeah, it really has. It's made it more fun. I mean, like, for instance, I would never in the past, before I started the program, I would never have been able to take on the 2 new stockers that I have taken on, and also even contemplate on setting up the leads that I've got in order to convert them. I would just never have had time. And then that's what I was saying about the prioritizing. I mean, okay, do I put a few minutes in there? Do I put a few minutes in there? Does that take an hour of my time? Or should I be focusing on that order that's to go out? You know, it's almost, you get to the stage where you're sort of like a rabbit with, you know, in headlights, you know, you don't know which way to turn sort of thing. But and I was pretty much there, like in all honesty, I was pretty much there. So no, yeah, I've got so much free time now, you know, it feels, like I said, it feels really good.
It feels good. Yeah. And I'll say that's just a testimony in itself, you know, you know, because when you got time, then you got all time to do things you want to do with your family, your friends, hobbies, whatever it is that you want to be able to do. So that's really good news. That's really good news. So I suppose now what I really want to kind of ask you is, you know, you say we're 30 days in. Where do you see Wickham Soaps in the future? Yeah,
are we shameless plug?
Shameless plug. Yeah, are we taking this to Mars? Yeah, are we going galactic with this soap? The moon will never set, let alone the sun.
Wait, next time we look at the moon, I bet I'll have Wickham.
A bit of branding, love it. Oh, I could just see that now. I could just see it. Yeah. Wickham Soaps. So, where do you see Wickham Soaps in the future?
Well, I'd like to. There's a couple of things that, I mean, these were goals that have only just come about because of the 90-day program. They weren't goals set before, but I've got new goals now, you know, because I've had a lot of time to think, and also I've had the time as well. I've implemented some things that I've researched because I've had the time to research, which again has also created additional time. But for me, I see myself expanding the business in the areas of actually taking on more stockers, and also being able to sell more units. I also see new products coming in on the line as well. I've actually got 2 in development at the moment.
Yeah.
Again, they've recently started because of the 90-day program. Let me just think. I've also got just completed the rebranding. I've also got an advertising campaign which I've just started as well. So I mean, there's lots and lots of things that are actually going on. So yeah, in maybe 5 years, well, not maybe, definitely within 5 years, I can see myself with a team of staff without a shadow of a doubt. Ideally, the new goals that I've sort of set myself now is I'd like to actually take Wickham Soaps back to Wickham.
Oh, okay.
Not as a head office or anything like that, but just have a shop there, and also set up some sort of form of barbering or something like that from within the square there. I think that'd be quite a cool goal.
Yeah, because you actually get visitors from all around the world, coming to Wickham Square, to have a shave at Wickham Soaps, where it's all actually created, because what I see, and you know me, I mean, when we talk about goals, I talk about BHAGs, big, hairy arse goals. I know they say audacious, but that's just being PC. Nothing about me is PC. Big, hairy, audacious goals. And what I see Wickham Soaps as having the potential to be able to be stocked in every sort of like barber shop, chemist, boots, whatever it is across the UK.
I mean, it's a good idea, and I have approached barber shops, but the problem is with barber shops, a lot of them are Turkish, and I've got nothing wrong with that. But the soaps that they use come from Turkey, and they're really, really cheap. So it's very, very difficult for me to compete with. Them. Now, saying that, that's at this present time. Saying that, I hope. Well, I keep on saying the word "I hope." It's not. When I do get into a manufacturing unit and set up the machinery, then I'll be able to compete with those people, and those will be the areas that I will look at. So.
And that's how I know you've been taking notice of what happens on the 90-day, because you change your mindset.
It is
your
mindset, right.
Because the mindset of how much this costs when you're working for yourself in the area that you do is going to have a higher unit price. We know that, But as you actually start to scale and you've got a bigger process of being able to develop it, then the unit prices come down, which means then that you can then compete.
That's it. New markets open up.
Open up. Yeah. Well, Darron, it's absolutely been amazing chatting to you. But there are some other things that I really want to ask you.
Go on, then.
Okay. So you're a local lad then. You're from Portsmouth. Is that where you're from? Is it?
Actually, Lee Park. I was born in Lee Park.
Okay.
Fine place, Lee Park.
Fine place.
It's on par with Wickham.
Okay. And what do you love most about being a local Portsmouth boy? What do you like most?
I don't know. Portsmouth changed over the years. It's not a place. Portsmouth, like within the city, it's not a place that I recognised as a child.
Yeah.
And I don't actually like it as it is now. There's too many students. I mean, there's a lot of diversity. That's got to be a plus.
Yeah.
But for me, I like the old days. I'm a bit old school, I think, or maybe a bit stuck in my old ways. I don't know. But, yeah. So I kind of miss the old.
So you miss a bit of the old.
Yeah. When. Like the days when me and you were around.
Yeah, what you're trying to, that's the old nostalgia stuff.
It is nostalgia.
You're not through the rose-tinted glasses.
Right.
What I actually remember was skinheads with Dr. Martin boots on head-butting people. It wasn't that kind of pretty then either.
And the mighty fine, it was everything but fine. Yeah, right.
But what I was thinking about as well, because we're talking about community. What do you think as Portsmouth? Business community. How do you find Portsmouth business community?
Like I said, it's becoming diverse, but Portsmouth is a bit of a strange place really, because it hasn't got no sort of like I think this is going back some years. I think IBM was probably one of the biggest employees of within the area, closely followed by Zurich Insurance. Zurich Insurance have gone.
Yeah.
IBM has gone.
Yeah.
So I mean, we don't have in Portsmouth. We don't have any like large companies that employ over, say, 1,000 people or so. So I think it'd be nice. I mean, I don't know how big I can grow Wickham Soaps, but again, it's down to the product. It sells itself. So I mean, if I can grow it as big as that, then yeah, I'd like to employ as many people as I possibly could within the area. So
and the reason why I say it is because I see you as being a big part of the Portsmouth future, but not just you as an independent person, just not you, but the artisan way of selling, and you're right, because like Portsmouth was always a naval town. The Navy basically brought in a lot of the employment. I think the biggest employer now is the university, more of the university city. But what you have seen around Portsmouth is there's lots of small businesses like yourselves, that are kind of creating these really nice artisan products, sort of like little bespoke stuff.
Do you know what I find actually, now you said that, is that the smaller businesses, they tend to compete against each other, which really they shouldn't try and do that. I think they should try and sort of like, synergize and come together and help each other. Like, create that synergy, because, I think like many hands make light work, and I think there's an element of truth in like, coming together and sort of helping people. And I think businesses can flourish. I think you can have a bricks and mortar business and still have an online presence. And I think you'll probably find that the online presence would do better than the bricks and mortar. But what it does do is it releases you from that local competition. Because you're no longer focused locally. So that's,
And I'm really kind of glad you kind of got to that point, because I kind of agree as well. There's that part where they say no man's an island, no woman's an island. We all need people to survive. And it's I've done a little post a little while ago. A tree in a field, can't really support its infrastructure on its own. It can't support the habitat around there. But when you kind of got a forest, actually it supports a real habitat.
I got this old story. I picked it up many years ago. Probably selling Sky subscriptions or something. I can't remember what I was doing. But anyway, I picked it up. I went to like this sales seminar, and this guy, he told this story, and it was about basically what he did. It was a company, and they manufactured shoes. And basically what happened was he went, the guy that owned the company went to his head of sales, and he said to him, "I'm going to take you, send you and your family to this island. I want you to obviously enjoy yourself, but I want you to assess how many pairs of shoes we need to send out to this island, so we can get loads of sales." So he said, "I want you to report back after being there for the first day." So the first day he phones back, but when he touches down, he realizes that no one's got shoes on. So he phones back and says, "Don't bother sending any shoes. No one's got any shoes on." So what he does is he says, "Right, get back on the flight, you and your family. You're not staying out there, all expenses, So he then looks to the janitor, who's just like there cleaning, and then he says to him, "How would you and your family like a trip to this remote island?" He was like, "Yeah, okay." He said, "Basically, I want you to go there. I want you to assess the island and see how many shoes we need to send out there." Within touching the ground, he was straight on the phone. He said, "I don't care. However many shoes you're making, send out everything." He said, "Why?" He said, "Because no one's got any shoes here." You know what I mean? It's shift your perception. Definitely. Shift your mindset. Exactly.
I love that. I love that. I love that, shifting your mindset. How you can kind of sell. Always an opportunity hungry. That's what we kind of always like to say. But what I want to say is just kind of touch on something else just before we end, because what you talked about was local businesses and how local businesses can often compete with each other, and that competition with each other really can get in the way.
It's unhealthy.
So if you could have a message to all of them businesses out there, them small businesses in the community that are struggling on their own and find it really hard, what would you say to them about what it is that they could do to kind of help thrive?
Try and create an online presence. And like cast your net further. That's what I'd say. And also, I mean, like, seriously, take up something, like, consider even joining the Synergy Network system. I mean, it really does, it has paid dividends for me. It's been a good investment. Yeah, absolutely.
Create a tribe, be part of a tribe, be part of something, learn from each other.
We'll work together rather than compete against each other, I think.
Wow. Yeah. Darron, it's been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming in this evening and being our first guest. Darren is our first guest on Facebook Live.
Trust me, they're really stingy with the chocolate biscuits.
But before I go,
water, you know?
I'll just plug the soaps one more time. Yeah, okay. So these are the soaps here. Yeah, Synergy Success Network endorse. Yeah. Wickham Soaps 1912 collection. There's lots of different fragrances. Go on Darren's website and take a little look on there. You'll be amazed. And Christmas is coming. Cheers, and there's going to be a lot of happy people out there. But yeah, like I say, we're just coming up to time now. Look at that. I've got 25 seconds left. So we will be back again next week. We will be probably looking at having another guest, and I will let you know who that guest will be in the coming days. If it isn't a guest, then what we would do is we'll pick a topic that we'll discuss, because I know that Mark last time talked a little bit about concept on there. What we can do is we can go through the questions afterwards. Dan, we can just from there. Darren's really proactive. I love Darren. Yeah, he's bang on it.
I've just seen the message there. Can I just say thanks, Chloe, for the message?
Thank you. There you go. All right, so I think Mark's been in the other room and he's been answering a few of these as well. Okay, cool. But Darren will kind of come on here and answer any questions afterwards as well. And also as well, you can follow Darren. You can follow Darren's personal page. You can also follow Wickham Soaps, and then you can contact him directly. But I'll do a little bit of an update during the week. And let you know how it's going to be next Wednesday, 7:30, Facebook Live. This is Synergy Success Network, over and out. Cheers, Dan. Thank you very much.
Cheers, man.